Hello, pet parents. Welcome to your July 2025 reading for your pets. These are for all pets born under an air sign. So I'm going to be reading for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius pets. I am time stamping below, so if you just want to jump ahead to the readings, you can. If you like to watch the process, we'll get into that now. I am choosing one theme card. That's kind of how it fell out the first time I sat down with the pets for the first group. So I'm just replicating the same for all. So we'll see what's the main thematic that groups your air sign pets all together for July. And then we'll have 4 cards from each deck. And then we'll do some charms as well, just for additional messaging and clarity. In terms of energy, the air signs, we were feeling very sociable, very curious. Curiosity was really spiking right now with their sort of social energy, wanting to get out and socialize and be playful, be out there with others. And then I was also feeling with this group like this heightened sense of like smarts. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just like, oh my God, you are being so smart right now. I don't know if that's connected to their curiosity and it just kind of displays in sort of a heightened intelligence. But I don't know. I just feel like there's going to be moments throughout the month with your pet where you're going to be like, oh my God, that was like so smart. You're so smart. Kind of these, I don't know, unbelievable moments. You know, maybe they open a door for the first time, or you know, for the first time ever, you give them a command and they just do it, even though it's the first time they've heard that command from you. That's kind of what I'm seeing here in terms of smarts. And maybe that's why I've been using that word, smarts. I even wrote down in my notes here, smart. I didn't write intelligent. I didn't use any other kind of verbiage. There might be some like wittiness there as well with the intelligence for this group. Waiting for the next charms to fall. Still feel movement, so there we go. Okay. I'm just tuning in here. That's why I'm adjusting the charms. Oh, interesting. Quick new start here. Got a lot of charms that are kind of paired off here in terms of their messages and their meaning. So it'll be interesting to get into and why they've approached it this way for the air sign animals. Okay. So air signs, let's see what the main connective theme is here. So I see they're really pulling me into more of the healing. I know it says heart chakra here. I'm not connecting it with love. I am connecting with Archangel Raphael's green healing colors, health-wise. So I don't know if this group of pets either your pets have been healing, or, and the reason why I pause is because they pulled me back to their notes here about being more sociable. I don't know if your pets just have winter blues. I know my dog sure does. He cannot wait to get back outside. He does not walk in the winters because he doesn't like the winter. I've tried. So he's like nonstop, always trying to get outside, right? Trying to be sociable, trying to get outside. So that might be the connective tissue here for all of the air signs. Either your pet is coming out of a period, so they're almost fully recovered here, so they have been healing, or they've had the winter blues, or weather blues, I should say, depending on where you live in the world. But now your climate is much nicer, and they just want to get out there. They just want to be in it. They want to lay in it. This is their season, you know. This is my time. That's what I'm feeling here. Okay. So to start in the messages here, So we have a direction, um, uh, sort of a follow your heart this way, but it's heading towards sort of a not so great behavior, a not so great influence. I don't know if that's someone in your home within the family unit that kind of gets your pet into mischief, gets your pet into trouble. Oftentimes I see a lot of videos. I even observe it, with my own friends where they kind of egg each other on. It could be a visitor to your home as well. It doesn't have to be one of the pet parents or members of the family, but it could be, the uncle, that shows up, or the best friend that shows up and gets your pet all riled up and excited and energetic and oh my God. And then they kind of leave that, right? Leave that energy with you, or you don't know that they riled them up, so you yell at your dog, hey, you're not supposed to be in there, but it was kind of them. So they're pointing the arrow at this person, not me. A little bit of a tattletale here. This is breed agnostic. I know I said dog, but it could be someone that gets the cat in trouble, or just blames. It wasn't me, it was them. It was your bird, and your animal's like, no, it's them. They're pointing the arrow back at this influence. There's a lot of laughing in between. Like, it's all good intentioned, but there's this pushback from the pet in July saying, I'm not purposely being mischievous and doing what I know what's wrong. I'm just playing and with this person. I'm going along with it. Almost this call, like, if I'm in trouble, they better be in trouble too. Like I said, the bit of tattletaling that I saw there. Okay. Yeah, see how they're connected here? The boulder and the dragon, right? The dragon's kind of trying to coax the boulder out here, and they know they shouldn't go because they'll just cause trouble or get into trouble. Like, there's this sense of they're aware there's mischief with this person, but they love it. They love it so much. They love getting in trouble or up to trouble. Maybe that's the language you use. Maybe you actually say to your feline friend, okay, trouble, let's go do this or that. So they're living for it. They're all for it, but they just don't want to be the only one in trouble. Like, they didn't do it. It's not my idea. I'm going with the group here, but it's not my idea. Uh, so I don't know if this is connected to those pets that are going through the recovery here, because this is ongoing support, love and support. Um, Oftentimes when I'm reading for the human clients, this is loved ones providing support during recovery. That's what you could be possibly doing now. Or you're supporting them with the recovery as it relates to, it looks like possibly a dietary change. This is a pretty significant change. But for the pets, they're really drawing me in here to the grapes. Don't know why I mispronounced that word completely. The bunch of grapes here, which is food for me, right? It looks like the pellets, animal foods here. So I don't know if that's been part of their healing, or they're just letting you know that they're aware that you have made a dietary change, or their food has changed, but it's all good for them. It could be awareness from some of your pets who know that their vet appointment's coming up as well, because this is care and support. So they might know that their checkup is coming soon, and they're just aware that it's that time of year. Oh, look at all the support around them. Woo! Look at that. Sitting all happily. All of her buddies here, all cuddled on the couch. We just saw that, right? Support. Okay. Yeah, so there's definitely a message here of awareness that this is going to be a month that they're going through support, or like I said, seeing the vet. They're going to get to chill, just hang out with with whoever they want. They're pulling me back into the social energy that I was getting with this sign, with the air signs. So they know that they're just going to be lounging, at the camp, at the beach, wherever you're taking them. In terms of the heat, I'm not connecting it back to health here. So I definitely think the health was just probably a nutritional change you needed to make, or they now have to eat soft food, wherever it is. But I feel like this is acknowledgement that coming up for some of your pets, depending on where you are, there's definitely going to be a significant increase of heat here. So maybe if you can be prepared, just be prepared. Be prepared, pet owners, for heat waves. If that's common in your area, just having the cool space for them, because she's about to like get off her throne here. She's very uncomfortable. Like there's not a comfortable place to sit here in July. For some reason, they can't get comfortable. They can't find a comfortable place to sit. But it's related to heat. Heat. If you are camping, just make sure they're not too close to the flames. Maybe they're curling up because the heat is nice, but it's not comfortable for them. It's not good for them. Okay. So this is interesting to me because my little leaf means the beginning of something new. It's just starting. So July is going to be the starting month. The first time that this happens, this is a behavior. This is something brand new, and it's quick. Just arrives. It just happens. Like I said, if it's a sudden behavior that they just do. Or something new to them. If you bring something new in the house, it's a quick overnight change for them that they need to adjust to. They're going to need to change or adapt to this. Yeah, maybe it is something that you're bringing into the home as the pet owner. Because as soon as I flipped over the card, they were drawing me into the hands, almost like you're either giving it to them or showing it to them. You're trying to introduce them. They're coming over to look here. What are you trying to gently show me? The beautiful purple and blue hues here. It's all gentleness. So there's an upcoming change that you might have to support them through, help them to understand. Yeah, see how small they look, how tiny, and it's kind of that human point of view, kind of looking down at them in the cage here. And remember I said it could be a change in behavior. It was really quick. So maybe they did something and you quickly put them in whatever disciplinary tactic that you have, right, as part of your training. So I don't know if they got put back in their kennel, if you closed the gate, or now, if you did bring something new into the home, like a child or something, right? They're on the other side. All of a sudden, there's a barricade. The gate has to go in. This could also be them looking down, your pet looking down at this something new, right? They pull me back to the hands of you showing and introducing. And this new doesn't have to be an animal. Yes, it's a dragon. It doesn't have to be an animal or a person. Like I said, the newness could be the food that you're introducing them to. Could be a new toy that you're trying to get them to understand. So you're introducing it to them. Again, remember, they're very smart. So, this picture that they've chosen is very specific. So I'm just going to pause here and let you kind of feel it. And from your own perspective, I feel like you should know what they're trying to show you here. What perspective are they giving you? Are they looking up at you? You looking down at them? Are they looking down at what this is? If this is outside and you planted a tree and you put the fence up and you're like, you don't go dig out that tree, or, you put in a pool. So the fence is up so they're safe, right? So they're not jumping in. So, you need to introduce them to this change. You're going to have to walk them through it. It may help them understand it. Now, the love and peace charm is all about head and heart not matching, which is interesting for animals to pick that one. So it could just be them dealing with a little bit of trust here, right? If it's heart. So I trust you, you're my pet parent, but I'm very tentative. You know, they're very intelligent, this group, so I'm very tentative about what you're telling me, what you're showing me. Now they chose the heart, that's like the power of manifestation, power of creation. So they have open-mindedness. That's how smart your pets are. They actually know that they are being open-minded about this. I'm going to be tentative and I'm going to listen to you, but I'm open-minded. My heart is ready to receive and understand. Look at that. My heart is ready to receive. What is this? A frequency wave, right? And understand. Again, sort of this greenness. They're very attuned with their body as well. For those that were healing, maybe they're trying to say, you know, the heart is telling them you're healed, but the brain is telling them, remember, you just were feeling like this, right? So they're open-minded enough that, okay, I will try to go up the stairs again. You know, maybe they took a tumble. I know I can do it. I'm going to do it. My heart's telling me I can do it, but I remember I fell. So there's a bit of a battle here, a bit of a tuning in here that you might observe your pet doing, right? The memories are coming back and making them a bit hesitant here. Now I know the analogy I used. I was at the time I was just throwing it out there, like the going up the steps and taking a tumble. But he is here at the top of the steps. He's standing confident and courageous again. He's got his supportive angel here behind him, his courage, confidence, self-esteem. So he is achieving that again. If this was a human reading, I might say he might be coming off a cane, right? If you hurt a foot or an ankle. So, I mean, maybe your pet specifically hurt a paw or a wing, and they're just getting back to the mobility. So they're just starting to tentatively retry to do things here in July. And then there's a turning point of them realizing, oh, I can do that again. I can do that again. This is fantastic, as their head and their heart, their body, the health of their body that they know, their intuitiveness, and their head, their thoughts, their previous experiences, kind of syncing up here and reconnecting. That's kind of nice. So there is somebody that is kind of getting them into hot water here. They're not purposely being bad. I feel like somebody else is kind of getting them into it. Acknowledgement of food or just environmental change had to happen so that they feel better. Like I said, it could just be the getting them some shade or some AC, right? So that they're cooling off. That'll make them feel better. And then we have, this new change in the environment, or this new beginning that you're going to have to just be cognizant of, that you need to talk them through and have those moments of showing them or actually being there with them, supportive, because your animals are intelligent and they're open-minded here, sort of trying something that they either failed at or they got injured at previously doing, and kind of trying it again. It could just be coming back to the food, right? Tastes different. What did you do to it? Do I trust you? I am hungry. This tastes okay, just tastes different, so I trust you. So it could be that kind of storyline too. It doesn't have to be something super huge or super big. So let's connect back in August. Maybe we'll do a look back at July, and then we'll look forward into the month of August for your pets.